Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Reviews with Ryan. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called Crisis. I'll go ahead and read the plot. It's really long. I'm just going to read it here from my phone. It is 3 stories about the world of opiates collide. A drug trafficker arranges a multi-cartel fentanyl smuggling operation between Canada and the USA. An architect recovering from an oxycodone addiction tracks down the truth behind her son's involvement with narcotics, and a university professor battles unexpected revelations about his research employer, a drug company with deep government influence, bringing a new non-addictive painkiller to the market. And the film stars Gary Oldman, Armie Hammer, Evangeline Lilly, Greg Kinnear, and Michelle Rodriguez, and is directed by Nicholas Jarecki. So that was a really long one to get the plot out. This movie really tackles drugs and what they can do. I like that there's 3 different stories involved in this movie. You have Gary Oldman, who is a scientist who is researching this drug for the pharmaceutical company. You can kind of imagine where that's kind of going. And he experiments this drug with using rats. And then there's another story going with a former mom who's a drug addict and going through rehab, and her son kind of passes away, and that's kind of how that story goes along. Mild spoiler there. And then there is a detective that is working pretty much with the cartel and distributing these drugs. And these 3 stories interconnect into each other in a 2-hour movie. This movie, it is a slower movie, but for the purpose of how it is built up, it's done really well. There's a lot of good shots in this film. I enjoyed I think the acting was pretty good. There is a few side little stories that kind of don't really get as solved in the film. The ending is a little abrupt. I felt like towards when the ending was coming, it was a little bit rushed a little bit, but the movie overall is pretty solid. I like that we're tackling the issues of drugs and opiates, and it's something that there's a lot of movies tackling drugs, but this one it really shows the effects of what can happen in these certain situations that people can get involved in. Drugs is a huge problem in this country, and it's a good subject in a movie kind of to tackle. And I like that we have the 3 stories here that interconnect. It makes sense. It doesn't go off track at all. It's pretty entertaining for the most part. It's really, like I said, the ending is a little rushed, and I wish that it would have been a little extended out. A lot of times when movies are more than 2 hours, sometimes it's not needed, and the films can be cut and all that. But I think this film could have benefited from more longer runtime. But this movie did just come out in select theaters. It will be going to Redbox this week, this Friday, March 5th. So if you want to check it out on there. I'm going to give the movie 3.5 stars out of 5. I think Gary Oldman does a really good job in here. He just, he's a really good actor. He always does a really good job. The other few actors I'm not really familiar with, most of their work, but they do a pretty good job in this film as well. The cinematography is not too bad in this film. I think the main message out of this film is, if you know someone struggling with drugs or an addiction, that they should get help or seek some type of counseling of some faction. I know people that have passed away from drugs, and it's a really tough subject. But I really did enjoy this film. I think that, like I said, it's a pretty good film, and I think that you guys should check it out. Don't expect when you go in this film to be a ton of action. It takes a little bit of build up to get everything kind of connected and get all the action out. But I think that this will be a really enjoyable film for most people. Like I said, it's coming out of Redbox this week. It'll be a good Redbox rental for sure. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And I'll see you in my next review. Thank you guys.